The tummy-to-tummy, feed-in position helps with the transfer from womb to the outside. The ring sling is so fabulous with this hold because the baby has the sensation of being back in the womb, swaddled warm and close to you, listening to your heartbeat, which they're familiar with. They can hear you, smell you, and follow the rhythm of your breathing, which helps them breathe better. Your movements lull them to sleep just as they did when they were inside, and all this is so important in the transition stage from womb to getting used to the outside world. Before you start this position, please watch our Putting on Your Ring Sling segment to have prepared your sling before we pick baby up. If you have, we're ready. This is Lucas, and as we put him up in burp position, using our shoulder as an extra support, I like to slightly lean back and use my one hand to hold him and stick out my elbow for extra precaution. With my other hand, I grab all of this fabric that we pre-bunched for baby so that I know when I lower my baby, his feet are going to hit the bottom of the sling, the right spot in the basket. So I grab his little feet, making sure that his legs are froggied, and I gently lower him down into the basket as you bring this material up and over him, centering him on your body, just between your breasts. Baby has been used to being in froggy position for the past 9 months, and that's the best way to keep his legs in during these early months to ensure proper hip development. His head should be in the right place near my heart, with his bum straight under his head, not angled over here or over here. Before I tighten my top rail, this is a good time for me to be able to make any adjustments with baby's position that might need to be made. If, for example, baby's feet don't feel like they're comfortable or his legs need to be more froggied, I can take this time to support his back holding this rail, knowing that the fabric that's holding him underneath is giving him the support. I can use my right hand to reach in and move baby a bit if I need to, but this baby feels good to me, exactly where he is. So I'll take my left hand to support his back and neck, bringing all of the extra material to the side of the rings, and then take my right hand and find the front part of my tail. This time, pulling on the front part of my tail will tighten the fabric that's against baby's back. So using a J or candy cane motion, I pull my sling from the very top up and down, and again up and down, until baby feels nice and snug. Perfect. Now I'm going to teach you what I call the third pull or center pull. So far, I've done a back rail tighten by pulling the back part of my tail to tighten the fabric that was against my chest. I've done a front rail pull from the front part of my tail to tighten the fabric that's at baby's back. And now, for the center pull, I'm going to lift baby's weight a bit and find the middle of my tail just above the zippered pocket and do a pull straight down. The middle of the tail is the fabric that is underneath baby's bum. We want to bring baby up nice and secure and snug so he doesn't feel like he's riding too low, but laying on top of my chest. Hopefully you can see when I did the center pull how the baby moved up a bit. Doing this also allows me to achieve extra inches in my tail so that I have a full tail for a nursing cover. It is amazing how a couple of inches can change how secure and comfortable you feel. You will learn over time how to keep playing around with your sling, making those small adjustments until both you and baby feel completely comfortable. When in doubt, tighten. A snug baby is a secure baby. If I have a tiny baby in my sling and I want to give him some neck support, this is a great time to bring that extra fabric up to about the middle of his head, not covering it completely, but using this rail in the middle of his head to support his neck against your chest. It is very important to note that in every position that you carry your baby in a sling, that you are able to see their face. Always be certain that his head is in a position where his airways are open and visible to you. If we bring this fabric up and his face was pointing the other way, I wouldn't be able to see him. I want to move his head to the side of the rings so I can support his head with the fabric and still see his face. It's a simple maneuver to correct that. You would just want to tip back again and move their head to the side of the rings. The last thing we need to do, which will make a huge difference in the degree of comfort you will feel when wearing your sling, is to spread the back fabric. If someone around you can do this for you, even better. But you can reach up yourself and spread the fabric as wide as possible. I like to pull up here and then down behind my back. And especially if you pull down on this side over here, you will experience the difference this move makes in your weight distribution. I love the comfort I get from spreading the back fabric, and it allows me to wear my baby for a longer period of time. Ring slings are one of the best baby carriers on the market for having minimal pain and proper posture. The weight distribution goes from my shoulder, spreads wide across my back, giving you that upper back support that you need, and the baby's counterweight in front pulls against that back material, helping you stand up straighter. He's giving me proper posture. Because there are no straps coming down across my shoulders, there's no pulling on my neck and back, which can, in certain carriers, cause extreme discomfort. So now the baby is all snuggled up in fetal position, secure, comfy, and right next to my heart, my hands are completely free to do chores around the house or go shopping. My baby is so secure, in fact, that I can bend over to empty the dishwasher or take towels out of the dryer. You can wear your baby in the sling for hours as he or she sleeps and feels swaddled and achieve many things with my hands free, especially if you have children in the home to take care of. So now a few other things I want to mention about the tummy-to-tummy position is that this is the most commonly used hold by moms and dads during the early months of baby's life. It is important not to put a young baby in a position that spreads their legs around you until they are about 4 or 5 months old, and even then, it depends on the size of the baby. If baby is too young, spreading their legs out rather than having them in the froggy position will put unnecessary strain on their young hips. Keeping them encased in this position in a nest of fabric is the safest way to carry your young baby. We never want baby's legs to be dangling straight down. This could displace the hip bone, causing hip dysplasia. These slings and this position are especially great for helping your baby strengthen his or her neck muscles. Just like you would put your baby on a mat for tummy time to work on their neck control, the sling helps them do this by lifting their little heads up off your chest, wobbling it around for a little bit to tone those neck muscles, and then falling back onto your chest. Once you find that your baby is getting big and trying to stand up into the sling, you know that it is time to start putting them into a different position, such as tummy to tummy, feet out, which is another segment. You never want your baby to be standing up in the sling and arching themselves backwards out of the sling. You will be able to tell when your baby is ready to move from tummy to tummy, legs in to legs out. But it does vary from baby to baby depending on their weight and height. The shoulder of my sling has been sewn with exceptional quality standards. The inside of the shoulder, where you can't see, there are these webbing pieces and several rows of stitching. Then this lovely ribbon band adds even more security for our ring sling. Our rings are made of non-welded, non-slip aluminum rings designed specifically for baby wearing and have been attached to the shoulder of the sling with parachute strapping, one of the strongest materials in the world. One of the things I love most about these Zolaware slings is the strict quality standards they adhere to, with each sling being inspected individually before it is packaged up. I would like to show you just how secure these rings are and how small and simple adjustments will stay in place. It doesn't matter how much pressure I'll apply to them, the fabric will only get tighter. The more weight, the tighter the fabric, and the rings won't allow my baby to drop down. Yet I can make those small adjustments and they stay. However, when I get a bigger baby in my sling, the heavier the baby, the more difficult those adjustments become. That's why when we want to make adjustments to the sling, you just lift your baby's weight to take the pressure off of the rings and then make your adjustments, just like I showed you with how to do your center pull. The same principle applies to taking baby out. In the same way that these slings have an incredible locking system, they have an even more incredible unlocking system. Watch how simple it is to take my baby out of the sling. I simply lift his weight a bit and put a few fingers under this outside ring and pull up and away from my body. I like to give myself about 10 to 12 inches, just enough to take baby out safely with 2 hands. Put him back up into Burt position. And then set him down. And then I can take my sling off without ever having to unthread it. I love that this product does what it's supposed to do so well.